Welcome to the podcast for Brain and Courtlin in the morning on 98.1 K-Hawk.
Cedar Rapids, number one for New Country, 98.1 K-Hawk. Beautiful as you from Thomas Rhett. Good morning. It's Brain and Courtlin in on a Monday.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm going to be honest with you. I am very awake this morning, very alert. And I think it's because I slept like half the day yesterday.
Oh.
And then I went to bed at like 8:45 last night. Look at me being responsible.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think the hours that we work, we get up very early and come into work. People are like, what time do you go to bed? And the answer for me usually is not early enough.
No, always after 9.
Yeah, and that was the case for me, although it was around 9 last night. So I got a decent amount of sleep as well. And I was sleeping really good this morning when the old alarm went off. It was a little difficult getting out of bed today.
So I ended up having to turn on the air conditioning in my house yesterday.
We were so close.
It got a little bit too warm, but then I was able to turn it off. And right now I don't have my heat or my air conditioning on. It's amazing.
It's that magical little time.
How long do you think we'll be able to do that for? Maybe 4 days?
Not very long. Well, I mean, listen.
I'm going to soak it in as long as I can.
It's going to be on the warm side again today, and then we cool down a little bit for the rest of the week.
Oh, yeah. The high is 80 today.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm going to have to turn it back on. Darn it.
And the thing is, at least at our house, is that the fact 80 isn't super warm outside. You go outside, it's rather nice, but man, the house just heats up.
Yeah, it gets too hot too fast.
It's like an oven.
And I'm not one of those people that's like, I'm not turning on No, I'll turn on the air conditioning. That's fine.
Yeah.
I would rather live in comfort.
I didn't
than
last
save
night.
a few bucks.
I almost did last night. I went to the thermostat and I looked and I went, okay, it says it's 79. If it gets to 80, I'll turn it on.
That's what it was. I think it was like 78 in my house.
And it didn't get up to 80, so I'm like, well, I'm not turning it on.
Well,
I'm a monster, and my children hate me.
You make everyone in your house suffer.
Well, listen, why should it be different than any other day?
Send them over to Aunt Courtlin's house where she keeps it at a cool 74.
Go live in the meat locker with Auntie C. Will you accept them if they want to come over?
I mean, will they help me do some chores?
Okay,
do they mind a severe mess? Because my house is a pretty big mess right now. I spent like 2 hours doing laundry and folding laundry and putting it away yesterday. I finally unpacked my suitcase from the beginning of October when I went home for that wedding.
Weren't you missing the clothes that was in there?
I was gradually just pulling things out of it.
Okay.
And just not actually emptying it. So I finally did that yesterday.
Maybe I won't send my children to your house. Okay. It's Brady Courtlin at K-Hawk. Cedar Rapids, number one for New Country, 98.1 K-Hawk with Justin Moore, and this is My Dirt. Good morning. It's Brain and Courtlin. We would like to show you some new dirt. The dirt that resides in Jacksonville, Florida.
I've actually never been to Jacksonville, Florida.
I haven't either.
Is that the capital of Florida?
No.
That's Tallahassee.
Tallahassee would be the capital, yes.
Look at that. Pulled that out of somewhere.
I was going to say Tallahassee, but I'm so glad you went there first. Listen, Jelly Roll is going to be in Jacksonville. It's our alliteration tour 2024. I don't know how long we're going to be able to keep this up, but Jelly Roll in Jacksonville works out perfect, especially when we're going to send you there for free.
Yeah, we're covering everything. That means your hotel, your airfare, your concert tickets, and $500 in spending cash, because obviously we're not going to send you to Florida broke.
No, the only thing you have to worry about is sunscreen.
And your best outfit that you think will impress Jelly Roll the most.
Yeah, maybe you'll see you. Probably not, but who knows?
Depends on how close you get.
That's true. All you have to do is enter the codes on the K-Hawk app. You know how this works. And the nice thing about this is you don't have to sit around every hour and wait for a code. Oh, no. We give you codes at 8:20 and 10:20 in the morning, and then 1:20, 4:20, and 7:20 in the PM.
That's it.
That's all you got to do.
Just enter as many codes as you can.
Just stock up on sunscreen now, because you're simple. A winner. Brought to you by Stony Creek Records.
Even if you're a loser, you're still a winner in our eyes.
That's right. In our eyes, you are. Your first code coming up with us this morning at 8:20 at K-Hawk.
Dress up your
New Country, 98.1 K-Hawk. And I Am Not Okay. That's Jelly Roll. Brain and Courtlin on a Monday morning. And, well, hey, it finally happened. Saturday night, Cedar Rapids Dancing with the Stars.
I've been working on my dance since June.
Yeah. Now this was the rescheduled date.
Yes, it was supposed to originally happen at the end of July.
Wow.
And it got postponed, I think, 2 days before the show.
Yeah.
Because too many people had pulled out. So they said, you know what? We're going to get more competitors and we're going to bring it back in October. And they did. And I believe there were only 3 of us who were from the original group.
Okay, so 3 original cast members and then many new people. And so, I mean, here's the thing with any of these events that are called Dancing with the Stars that they do locally. You were clearly the biggest star, I would say, recognizable name. But I think celebrity or star is subjective because these are other members of the community. I know there was a realtor there.
There was a nurse.
There was, a nurse practitioner. There was
business owners, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So, but as far as like recognizable name, man, the room erupted when Courtlin's name was announced.
And yet I still got the lowest score out of anybody.
Well, yeah.
Here's my theory behind that because I don't think my dance was bad.
No, I don't. I was very, very proud of you and your dance.
Let me tell you, and this is just a fact. Okay, this is just a fact. I was by far the biggest competitor out of all of the gals who were competing. Everybody was so sweet, so nice, so beautiful. But I was the largest one. And so with my dance, there are no flips. There are no being tossed into the air. There are no handstands. There's no impressive feats and aerial moments because I am too big to do that sort of thing.
You know what, though?
But I brought what I could to the table.
Your dance had something that was missing from several, and that would be rhythm.
Well, listen, though.
Just throw that out there.
I was one of the last people. I was second from last to perform.
Yep.
So I think if I had performed towards the front of the competitors, I would have maybe gotten a little bit of a higher score. But when you put me after all of these stunning girls being tossed into the air, it's really hard to top that. So just realistic. I got 9s. I got 9,999 as my score.
By the way, nobody got lower than a 9.
No, exactly. But because I didn't get any 10s, immediately I was ruled out from being a winner. I did have a lot of people come out, though. Shout out to the listeners who bought tickets to come out for
absolutely.
This. I was so genuinely surprised and just so touched by that. I didn't really think that people would want to come out and see this. But I did have people come out, and I'm so appreciative of that. I'm glad it's over. Not because I didn't have fun, but because I've never felt more insecure doing something in my life.
Yeah, you're putting yourself out there. That's why
I haven't danced on a stage in front of people since show choir 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So having to do that in front of people was so nerve-wracking. And I did have to have a couple of drinks to wind myself up to do it. But it is really difficult to look at all of these people who are so beautiful and so much smaller than me and have to go out there and pretend that I fit into that. Because I don't.
Well, now
there were times where I would leave rehearsal, Brain, and I would cry in my car. Because I said I'm not built to do this.
Okay. Well, these are things that you might want to discuss with.
No. I understand, but you just don't know how doing something like this is going to affect you.
Yeah. No, this was definitely out of your comfort zone.
It was out of my comfort zone.
It was out of my comfort zone when I did it 20 years ago. But I'll tell you whose comfort zone that this was not out of. And I don't know your name, ma'am. And I know that they crowned a winner, but I have crowned my own winner. And so
I missed all of this, by the way.
Before the competition began, Courtlin and the other competitors were backstage. And so they were hyping up the crowd. They were playing dance music. And during the VIP hour, there was an open bar for beer and wine. And there was one woman, God bless her, I don't know what her name is, but she got out there on the dance floor, unannounced, unprovoked. And the first time she went out there, she was kind of feeling stuff out. She's like, hey, nobody's stopping me. I'm going to do my thing. And so we're all looking going, well, she's not a competitor. What's going on?
She just has some moves and she wants you to see them.
And then she went and she sat down. And then her friend said, there's still no one out there. And so she went back. And this time, I don't know why our table called her Judy, but dang it, she looked like a Judy. And so Judy did the splits.
Impressive.
On the dance floor, and then did some, I think, a somersault and some other
amazing
moves that were clearly.
Maybe she should have been in the competition.
And then at the end, when you guys all came back out, Judy got on the dance floor with the competitors. And she's like, let's go. So I don't know who you are, man, but not all heroes wear capes. It was just an amazing night.
I did get to see a video of her doing the splits, and it was very impressive. But I want to give a shout out to all the competitors in this, because, man, the amount of courage it takes to go out there in a little costume and just be thrown around in the air. It was shout out to all of these people who are willing to put themselves out there.
If you're brave enough to do it.
Yes.
To step out of your comfort zone and do it.
And everybody was so nice and so sweet. It was not a bad experience. It's just my own insecurities.
So would you go watch it if there was someone you knew that was doing it? I'll tell you.
100%.
It was so much fun to watch.
Yes.
It was so fun to watch.
So yeah, if anybody I know does it again, I will 100% go watch it.
Go support them.
Mm-hmm.
You can check out a couple of pictures of us at the Dancing with the Stars event. They're up on the K-Hawk Facebook page this morning. It's Brandon Courtlin on 98.1 K-Hawk. Cedar Rapids #1 for New Country, 98.1 K-Hawk. Happy anywhere. That's Blake and Gwen. It's Brandon Courtlin. I'm going to be real honest with you. I'm happiest usually at listener lunch.
Especially when we're at a Mexican restaurant.
Mm-hmm. Mas Margaritas. We're back tomorrow. More chips, more queso, more guac, and I'm ready for it already.
Are you going to get the same thing you got last week, or are you going to try something new?
No, I'll probably mix it up. Maybe the last Tuesday of the month. Maybe I'll go back to a favorite I had, but I've really been having fun trying different things I haven't had before at Mas Margaritas. They have a huge menu.
I think I really want to do fajitas this week.
I haven't done that either this month, so that's kind of been on my radar. So
the smell, the sounds.
Yeah, there's nothing like
the fact that it's enough for 3 meals.
I was just going to say it's so much food. Hey, congrats to our winner joining us tomorrow. It's Mary with Strelner Financial Group in Cedar Rapids, joining us for some great food and perhaps some financial tips, too.
Oh, good. I could use some of those. Maybe they can help me stop spending all my money on Mexican food.
Perhaps. We're going to have some great food and divest our portfolios. So it'll be a great lunch. Can't wait.
By the way, we only have one more Tuesday after this.
Crazy to think about.
At Mas Margaritas. So if you'd like to join us, I would get entered as soon as possible. And then once you're in, you're also in for November. Yeah,
our last month of Lister Lunch in 2024. That also, can't believe that's coming right up.
Don't say that.
Okay. Let's focus on the now. Get entered for Lister Lunch on the 98.1 K-Hawk app. Cedar Rapids #1 for New Country, 98.1 K-Hawk. Lies from Morgan Wallen. Good morning. It's Brandon Courtlin. Another day of temperatures in the 80s. I know we had a hard freeze last week early on, but if things have warmed up, the bugs are back.
They really are. And I feel like at this time last year, I was dealing with those box elder bugs everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I've seen a few of those. But the problem right now is these orange ladybug looking things.
Yeah, and here's the thing. They're not ladybugs. They're Asian lady
They're
beetles.
Imposter ladybugs.
Yeah.
And they are all over the ceiling of my house, in my kitchen, in my living room. And I do not know how they are getting in because I don't have the windows open. I don't keep my doors open. Where are they coming from? How are they getting in? And you only know how many you have at night when you have the TV on and they all converge on one spot in the living room. I think I have probably 12 of them just hanging out in my house at all hours of the day.
Apparently they're a fan of what you're watching on weekday and weekend evenings.
they're a fan of true crime documentaries, apparently.
Come on over, there are documentaries on. She's got the tube on again.
I mean, are you experiencing this too, or is it just me?
It's worse in certain areas. I've noticed a few, but we certainly don't have any type of infestation going on at our house. My parents who live out on a farm north of Anamosa, especially when the harvest is going on, they'll notice a huge influx of them. When the corn and the crops are gone, they will then try and go somewhere else. And oftentimes that would mean inside my parents' house. I can remember trips out to the farm where my mom would be sucking them up with a shop vac.
Oh my God.
There were so many of them trying to get in the house. But usually you have a hard freeze and it'll take care of things like that, i.e., kill the bugs.
Yeah, but we had a bit of a freeze last week, didn't we?
These are apparently very hardy Asian lady beetles. You can't kill me. I'm a lady beetle. I'm very strong and resilient.
Well, if anybody knows how to make them stop entering my home.
I don't think there's anything you do to make them stop entering. How can you get bugs to not come in your house? If you had a full-blown answer for that, you'd be a billionaire. Because they're coming in the same way that flies and spiders and everything else get into your house.
I know, but I can't vacuum my ceiling. I can't reach it.
You could mix. I've heard people mixing together a gentle yet potent cocktail of like dish soap and water.
I've heard that for box elder bugs, and you put it around like your door frame. But what is that the same as the lady beetles? Let
us know what lady beetles don't like. Is it a strong, firm hand from a man?
Wow.
Sorry, that got out of control. Or is it some sort of mixture? Or is it some sort of mixture involving dish soap? You know what you could do? You could go to Menards and spend the best $5 you ever spent in your life and get one of those battery-powered electric fly swatters.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, the amount of joy that brings my life, I'll tell you.
I can't reach them. They're on the ceiling.
Oh, yeah, and they don't fly around really like flies do.
No, they just converge on one spot.
All right, if you have a suggestion for Courtlin to get rid of her lady beetles.
Get out of here.
Send us a message this morning on the K-Hawk app or give us a call at 365-3698. It's Braden Courtlin at K-Hawk. Cedar Rapids, #1 for New Country, 98.1 K-Hawk. Luke Bryan. It's Braden Courtlin on a Monday morning, and we've got some concert tickets we're going to be giving away. Unfortunately, we can't do this morning.
It's because we haven't announced what the concert is yet. So normally we would be doing a giveaway right now, but we can't until after tomorrow.
Yes, we will have country concert news, Cedar Rapids country concert news, and we will unveil it all tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
Very specific. 9 a.m. on a Tuesday.
That's right. That's when they have told us that we can say what we need to say. And, after we make that announcement, we will give away the first pair of tickets to that show in Cedar Rapids.
And then are we going to have tickets the rest of the week, too?
Then we'll have tickets at 7:10 Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So sorry for the confusion, but I always like it, or I prefer it, when they announce or they allow us to make these announcements on a Monday. Then we only miss one day of contesting. But we'll get it in tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Set your alarms now for more Cedar Rapids country concert news from 98.1 K-Hawk. Cedar Rapids, #1 for New Country, 98.1 K-Hawk with Hardy and Give Heaven Some Hell. It's Brady Courtlin on a Monday morning, but not just any Monday. Oh, no, we're going to make it a great Monday. It's a Good Vibes Monday, where we want to talk about the good things going on in your life. Good news, fun news only, please.
Positivity for your Monday, because let's face it, we could all use it.
It's Monday after all.
All right, what are your good vibes?
We had a fun night Saturday night watching you dance and all the festivities that was Dancing with the Cedar Rapids Stars. Although yesterday afternoon, after watching my Green Bay Packers win on a last-second field goal, Holly and I went out and enjoyed some of the fall colors. We went out to Wanatee Park in Marion and walked some of the trails out there. And
you took some beautiful pictures.
There were some really, really pretty scenes out there. Although the one thing that we noticed, at least out in that region, not as many like reds and oranges, lots of variations of yellow.
Okay.
And so I know sometimes the lack of precipitation and the warm temperatures can make the trees be different colors. Just still a fun day to be out and about.
I took some pictures last year. I went to Palisades in the fall, and it was the same thing. Everything was yellow.
Yeah.
But it was so beautiful.
It's just, if you have a chance, and I don't know whether this weekend was peak weekend. I think this weekend should also be pretty darn nice, too, if you can get out and enjoy it.
Yeah, before all the leaves fall onto the ground.
Before it gets really windy. It's not supposed to be this week. I think we might be okay.
Okay.
What about you? Good vibes on a Monday?
Obviously, I would say Cedar Rapids Dancing with the Stars being over is one of my good vibes.
I don't have to
I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it. But I'll never do it again.
Yeah?
I never want to dance in front of other people on a stage ever again in my life.
I don't want to dance with nobody.
But I met some wonderful people doing that.
That's the cool thing about events like that.
Yes, and we had so many people, listeners, turn up to see it. It was really fun. I got to go to a Halloween party for a little bit afterwards, got to eat some tater tot smash at Daisy's Garage. So that was, I would say, definitely a good part of my weekend. But I am looking forward to Halloween weekend. So technically Halloween isn't until next Thursday, but this weekend is when a lot of people will be out celebrating.
Yes.
And I get to DJ on Friday and Saturday night. And I'm going to be DJing as Judge Judy. So.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait for people to walk up and request a song.
And I'm going to pound my gavel.
And be, you're out of order. Oh, man.
I'm going to be sassy just like Judge Judy,
I don't know if anybody should ever give Courtlin a gavel and expect good things to happen.
Wait until you see my wig. It is excellent.
All right, we want to hear from you on a Good Vibes Monday. Something that happened over the weekend, something you're looking forward to. Call us at 365-3698. You can also hit us up on the K-Hawk app or leave us a photo or a message on Facebook as well. It's a Good Vibes Monday. It's Brain and Courtlin on 98.1 K-Hawk. On a Good Vibes Monday, talking about the good things going on in your life.
So do you have something to share with us? Because we would love to hear it.
Okay, let's go to the phones. And a concert review, is that right?
Hey, I just wanted to let you know that my husband and I went to the Alabama concert this weekend.
How was it?
It was amazing.
Oh, that's good.
That's awesome.
They totally got it. I mean, they're good for a couple more years.
Okay, so she's a couple more years to see Alabama. But it is nice to hear they've still got it.
I mean,
love the fact they're touring.
it's amazing that they're still out on tour.
Shout out to Randy. Randy says our new granddaughter Scarlett arrived.
Oh.
And then sent us a picture of Randy holding his new granddaughter on the K-Hawk app.
And obviously
Beautiful.
That's big news.
That is big news.
But
yes.
we'll take small news too. Like Amanda said, I was sick with strep all weekend. And today I don't feel like death and I'm finally feeling better.
Hey, you beat death.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big thing.
Way to go, Amanda. There's nothing better than that first day when your symptoms start to improve after being just miserable for a whole weekend.
Both of my daughters last week had what's called walking pneumonia, mycoplasma, and they were down for a couple days, but they're both back at school today, too. So.
They're young. They bounce back quick. So you get to go home and take a nap.
Hey, share some good news with us on a Good Vibes Monday. 98.1 K-Hawk. It's Brain and Courtlin. Hoping we're pouring out some good news on a Good Vibes Monday. Lots of people talking about sports. We had Lori messages on the K-Hawk app and said lots of football over the weekend. Xavier on Friday, Hawkeyes on Saturday, Packers on Sunday. Lots of much-needed girl time. Thank you, Lori.
We also had a comment from Bob who said Gators won and Steelers won this weekend.
Yes.
And
yes,
then
they did.
We also have some kids sports to mention. JoJo said my son scored a winning touchdown and his team won the Super Bowl this weekend.
And isn't he wearing a Bears jersey?
Looks like it.
Does that mean he has to do the Super Bowl shuffle?
And then Rhonda said my son's Waco JV football team had an undefeated season this year. Keep it up, boys.
All right, now there's watching sports and then there's participating. We had this phone call this morning, too, on a Good Vibes Monday.
Yesterday was the Des Moines Marathon, and I've been training for about 4 months to run this thing.
Wow!
And about mile 5, things were not going well.
Uh-oh. Oh man!
And so I was like, all right. At that time, you could change to go to a half marathon. So I finished the half marathon. I literally crawled past the finish line because I cramped up so bad. I think it was.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, it was it was really warm. Of course,
but you still did it though.
It was. Exactly. And so I went right to the medical tent, and I'm like, you know what? Still got this half marathon.
You still did it.
I still did it. I still did it. And so I was so thankful.
Yeah, look at that. Crawled across the finish line, but still got his half marathon, Eddie. Also wanted to say, this is Matt, by the way, a big thank you to everyone with Des Moines Medical who kind of helped him as he was cramping up and said everybody was so nice. Just complete strangers taking care of him. He really appreciated that. So
that's amazing to hear.
If you've got something good going on a Good Vibes Monday, you can share it with us.
Big, small, we don't care. We just want good stuff.
Maybe it's new music. Cedar Rapids #1 for New Country, 98.1 K-Hawk. Brand new from Morgan Wallen. That's called Love Somebody. Brain and Courtlin on a Good Vibes Monday. We want to talk about the things, great things going on in life. big, small. You can message us in the K-Hawk app. Hit us up on Facebook like so many of you have done this morning.
For example, Rena said, my granddaughter Zella can ride her bike now with no training wheels.
That's big. That's real big.
That's an exciting accomplishment. And then listen to this. Denise said, I'm starting my last semester of college this morning. My daughter convinced me to return to college after 20 years away. Wow. It is never too late.
That's very true.
That's amazing, Denise.
You can go back anytime. They will accept you.
I love that.
Also, Gina says, I went to movies at the Paramount, Beetlejuice, and said it was awesome. She said they're going to be doing more movies throughout the year. I did see that.
Yeah, there are some movies that they're doing, too, where they have Orchestra Iowa perform the score.
Very cool.
As the movie is showing, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for the calls and comments. If you would like to chime in and tell us about something great going on. Oh, hang on. Late message on the K-Hawk app. So my 7-year-old son, this is from Leah, my 7-year-old son Otto is excited to watch the Buccaneers game tonight on TV. Baker and the Bucks from Tampa Bay on Monday Night Football tonight. So we wish him good luck for you, Otto.
As long as they're not playing any of our teams, then we're fine.
Both of it. It's funny. I was telling Courtlin yesterday, she's a Lions fan. I'm a Packers fan. Both of our teams won on last-second field goals yesterday. It was crazy. So
super exciting.
That's right. It's Brayden and Courtlin on a Good Vibes Monday. It's 98.1 K-Hawk.
It's time for the latest in country music news. Country Quickies with Brayden and Courtlin from 98.1 K-Hawk.
Okay, we have another rock legend who's entering the realm of country music. But he's got some pretty big names backing him up. First of all, it's Ringo Starr. Yeah, that Ringo Starr.
From the Beatles.
From the Beatles. So he has announced a forthcoming country record. It's called Look Up. And he said it all started off first as a song and then as an EP concept album. But then T-Bone Burnett, famed Nashville producer, got involved. And so did Billy Strings and Alison Krauss. And so suddenly Ringo's country album has a little bit of legitimacy to it. So once again, the first single from it, Time on My Hands, has already been released, and it's not country leaning. It's country.
Full country, okay.
Good for Ringo for leaning into it. Why not? You're a Beatle. You can do whatever the heck you want.
Well, speaking of doing whatever the heck you want, country legend George Jones, who passed away back in 2013 at the age of 81, has some new music coming out.
Oh.
11 years later, we are getting to hear new recordings from him, and no, these are not AI generated. The new album, George Jones, The Lost Nashville Sessions, features 16 tracks that were originally recorded for radio airplay back in the 70s, made exclusively for artist promotion, and often completed in 1 or 2 takes. The tapes were often discarded after they aired, but these recordings were discovered and remastered. Now, they aren't new songs, but they're previously unreleased recordings of some of his biggest hits as well as some of his lesser-known ones. And they actually fixed them because they had been sitting in a box.
Oh, man.
For a long, long time.
I think that's cool. The technology that we have, they can fix things that have been damaged, and we get to hear them. I think that's a cool thing. So
the full album will be out November 15th, but the first track was released last week. It's a new version of The Honky Tonk Downstairs, if you want to check that one out now.
All right. So Snoop Dogg has some ties to country music. He's been friends with Willie Nelson for a long time, although let's be honest, those are for reasons not necessarily involving music. He's also teamed up with Chris Stapleton for the Sunday Night Football theme, and he works alongside Reba McEntire on the current season of The Voice. Well, now, according to an interview, we could be seeing Snoop make a jump into country music as a guest appearance, of course. He said that Zach Bryan has sent him a lyric, and he would like Snoop to record it for an upcoming project.
Interesting.
So could we be hearing Snoop Dogg on a Zach Bryan tune in the future? We'll have to wait and see.
That would be pretty legendary.
That would be pretty interesting, to say the least.
And finally, the 2024 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony took place on Saturday night. And there were a few different country artists that performed. First of all, Jelly Roll hit the stage to honor Ozzy Osbourne with a rendition of Mama, I'm Coming Home, which I heard he absolutely nailed it. Coral Reefer band member Mac McAnally performed a beautiful, subtle version of Jimmy Buffett's Come Monday with both Kenny Chesney and James Taylor. And Keith Urban honored inductee Peter Frampton with Peter himself. They jammed out to Do You Feel Like We Do. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony is streamed on Disney Plus and is available to watch now on Hulu. The show will air as an induction ceremony special on ABC at a later date.
Very cool. Those are your country quickies this morning. It's Brandon Courtlin on 98.1 K-Hawk. Cedar Rapids, number one for new country, 98.1 K-Hawk. Kane Brown and Marshmallow with miles on it. It's Brandon Courtlin. Speaking of putting some miles on it, how confident are you that you could still do well on the driving test that you had to pass to get your permit or your license?
Now, I'm wondering, I think this is the exam,
yes.
The written exam.
Oh, yeah.
Because hopefully, if you're out driving a car on the road right now, you could pass like your road test.
Listen, some of the things I see out there.
If not, that's so concerning.
No guarantees.
But this study said that only 40% of people are confident that they could ace this test.
Well, listen, acing the driver's test, that means getting none wrong. You don't even have to do that to pass it.
No.
There's a certain number of questions you can get wrong in order to pass your driving test. I know this. I've had all of my kids now have at least their permit or license. Kaylee is the latest and the last one. She just recently got her driving permit.
And how's that going?
Smashingly. Maybe that's not the word I should use.
No.
So far, so good. But it's just terrifying because she's a new driver. But the only way for her to get better, of course,
is to practice.
That's exactly right.
And unfortunately, she has to practice with you in the vehicle with her.
That is the way it's been going so far.
Also, 25% of people said they would probably fail. Come on.
Really?
I don't remember it being that difficult.
The tricky questions are remembering the exact number of feet that the letter of the law says that you should have your turn signal on prior to making a turn.
Is that on the test?
Are you serious? Yes, it's on the test.
I don't remember that. Listen, I don't think I would fail the test, but am I confident I could ace every single question like that?
No, I wouldn't.
No, but I guarantee you I'd ace my road test, maybe get a point or two off for having to readjust with parallel parking just like I did back in the day. But
do you think that you would get points deducted for middle fingers? Because I might be down a couple. Listen, I've got a problem with road rage. And
You really do.
I'm going to admit it right now. And I had it's a true story. Yesterday, driving in Marion, I had a woman pull out in front of me, and I deemed that she did not give me the proper respect that I deserved. And so to let her know that,
oh no,
I pulled up right behind her and pulled over to the left so she could see my angry face in her rearview mirror. That's the person I am.
Well, at least you didn't follow her to her destination to yell at her.
No.
Or roll down your window at a red light to scream at someone. That's that's serious road rage where you have a problem.
Here's the thing though that really upsets me. And this particular person that did this had no idea that my daughter was driving home. Kaylee was driving home from school a day last week. And we were on 10th Street in Marion, and we were going to take a left onto 9th Avenue, the street that we live on. So 10th Street in Marion is a busy street. And she had stopped to make a left turn. She had done everything right. She had pulled over, towards the center of the roadway so that cars could pass on the right. And so there was this big white pickup truck. His license plate number was, I'm kidding, I don't have it memorized. But this guy lays on his horn and pulls around us like, how dare we make a legal turn when he's in a hurry?
Oh.
And so I said things out my window in his direction. And because I was mad, because I'm like, here's this poor kid trying to learn how to drive and make a left turn on a busy street. And because you're 2 minutes late to your appointment or wherever you're going.
But she hadn't done anything wrong.
No,
you
she hadn't done anything wrong. And that's what really makes me upset. And if I ever see this guy's truck again, I'm kidding, I'm joking.
If you think that you were the person.
No, come on, man. I get it.
If they drive a truck, chances are they listen to K-Hawk.
Yeah. So. Hey, by the way, thanks for tuning in. Side note, you're a horrible driver.
Well, you remember what happened to me a few weeks ago where I was on 380 and this girl just decided to get over while I was directly next to her.
Yeah.
And then I sped up to drive right next to her after I laid on my horn and almost died. And she was taking a video of me on her phone while she was driving.
And it's to you people we say, once again, thanks for listening. Yeah, somehow maybe I don't have a lot of confidence that people would pass the driving test if we're seeing these type of things happen all the time. And listen, I'm not saying that I'm completely innocent. I make my share of bonehead, not so great moves.
We all do. No one's a perfect driver.
There is no such thing. I completely agree. But maybe you should know what
or just like apologize when you make a, like, oh, sorry. Give the Midwest wave or the nod. You know what I'm saying?
I'm waiting for
the little finger on the not the bad finger, but when you just do the two fingers.
When you said the Midwest wave, I'm like, I think I just talked about that, right? All right, I'm waiting. No. We're waiting for the phone lines right now to light up with a couple of apology phone calls. You bad drivers out there, we know you're out there.
Oh man,
and we will be too later. It's Brady and Courtlin at K-Hawk. Cedar Rapids #1 for New Country, 98.1 K-Hawk, and Man Made a Bar from Morgan Wallen and Eric Church. It's Brady and Courtlin on a Monday morning, Halloween. Still a week, more than a week away. It's so weird to say that, but
I'm really excited.
Yes. And as far as candy...
Yes, going to blow right past that.
Yeah, I know you're excited. Saying that Courtlin's excited for Halloween is like saying that the sun's out today. Yeah, it happens every day, every year. But this Halloween, the amount of chocolate and chocolate candies that your kids get while trick-or-treating might be down. And that is because it's costing more this year. And that's because of something going on with the cocoa industry, right?
Yes. So here's the deal. Cocoa prices have more than doubled since the start of the year. And that's because of severe weather and droughts over in West Africa. They are responsible for around 70% of the world's cocoa supply.
Wow. Okay.
So if you're at the store and you're like, man, it seems like chocolate has really gone up in price, you're not wrong.
Okay. It's the whole supply and demand thing. Chances are you learned that and talked about that in school at some point in time. Some people forget about it sometimes when it comes to things like chocolate. No, I don't know, gasoline. But yes, candy companies are compensating, they say, by shrinking bags. You've heard of this shrinkflation crap that they did the last couple of years. Thankfully, some companies are reversing it now.
Frito-Lay.
Yes. Shout out to you. But
putting more chips in our bags.
But apparently we're going to be getting, shrinking bags and higher prices in some chocolate products.
They're also going to be using less chocolate in some products, like, when they're like, look at our new special edition of this with less chocolate and more nuts. You know what I mean?
And you've already seen this too in some of these, like Kit Kat. And they now with mint. Who asked for that? Nobody asked for that. They just have to use as much chocolate.
So the main thing that they're doing, though, right now, because Halloween is coming up and that's a big time of year to sell candy, they're pushing the non-chocolate candies more than the chocolate.
So fruity candies.
Yeah, like I'm guessing Starburst, Skittles, Sour Patch Kids, that kind of thing.
Which are popular choices anyway. But man, it's hard to beat a Reese's or a Snickers bar on Halloween, isn't it?
This is great news for kids because your parents will steal much less of your candy because I feel like parents are the ones who steal the chocolate the most.
It's true. It's true. I listen.
I know you steal your kids' Reese's.
Mm-hmm. Usually I just buy a bag for myself and then I have a bag for handing out. So, there was a friend of ours posted a picture of some Halloween candy. I think it was from Target or one of the major retailers. And it was like $39.99 for a bag. However, it was for 365 pieces.
Okay, that's a lot of candy.
And as one of the people astutely pointed out, that's 11 cents per piece. So price per unit, still not awful. But yeah, don't be shocked if you go to buy a big bag of your favorite chocolate candies and they're a little higher priced. And of course, what do retailers also do right before Halloween? Prices up.
See, this is how we solve the problem. We just hand out pennies and toothbrushes this year.
You're going to be that house?
Listen, I've never had a trick-or-treater come to my house ever.
And you never will again if you hand out toothbrushes. You've just solved that problem forever.
I have some Almond Joys that were in a variety pack that I didn't eat. So if I get a trick-or-treater, they're getting the Almond Joy.
Hey, what'd you get at that house down there on the dead end? I got a discussion on Dancing with the Stars. And a toothbrush.
I don't want to talk about it anymore, so okay. You won't get that.
I got a free VHS copy of Dancing with the Stars.
A VHS?
And a toothbrush. He was very adamant on me taking the VHS tape. Anyway, let us know if you've seen those high chocolate prices out there.
No. Let us know where you get the cheap chocolate.
I don't know. Do we want cheap chocolate?
I think it's still better than no chocolate.
Okay, that's true. It's Brady Courtlin at K-Hawk. Cedar Rapids #1 for New Country, 98.1 K-Hawk. Sounds like the radio. That's Zach Top. Brady Courtlin on a Monday. And Tuesday, listen, we always like Tuesdays. It's listener lunch day, but we have something even more planned for tomorrow.
So we're going to have a concert announcement tomorrow morning. And this is Cedar Rapids Country Concert News.
Yes.
And we're excited about this one.
We are. We're going to tell you all about it coming up tomorrow morning. Got to wait till 9 a.m. on Tuesday.
But we're going to reward you for your patience by giving away a pair of tickets when we make the announcement.
It'll be worth your wait. So win tickets tomorrow when we make the announcement at 9. And then we're also going to give them away the rest of the week at 7:10. So all the details will be revealed tomorrow morning at 9.
You better be listening.
For more Cedar Rapids Country Concert News from 98.1 K-Hawk. Cedar Rapids #1 for New Country, 98.1 K-Hawk. Dirks Bentley with American Girl. Brandon Courtlin wrapping up a Monday show.
Ooh, Monday. Ooh. This is the most awake and alive I've felt on a Monday in a very long time.
Which means things can only go downhill as we head to Tuesday? What? No.
Well, you never know. Man, I'll tell you what, I was just so exhausted yesterday that I got up at like 7. Yeah. And then at 8:30 I went back to sleep. And then I got up at 11. And then I think I took another nap at 1:30ish, and I woke up at 5 p.m.
And then you're like, well, the day's almost over.
But I did get some stuff done in between laundry. So it wasn't an unproductive weekend.
Well, no, I mean, listen, you got to have a day.
It just was less than productive.
You got to have a day where you just do very little. That was yesterday. I did laundry yesterday too, but yeah, not a lot going on Sundays. But hey, we're back tomorrow. Listener lunch in the month of October. Back at Mouse Margaritas. Also, don't forget concert news tomorrow morning at 9 too.
9 a.m. baby.
All right, dad joke to get us out of here.
All right, Brain. What's a poltergeist's favorite song?
A poltergeist's favorite song. I don't know.
You Are So Beautiful.
Oh, man. You want to hear what I was going to guess?
What?
I'm almost embarrassed to say it, but do you want to know my guess?
Yes.
Ghost, baby. Ding,
no.
Ding, 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 ding.
No.
Stop. I'll stop.
I think know. You Are So Beautiful.
No, that's much better.
Much better.
My guess was embarrassingly bad.
And then you still said it anyway. And then you sang it. Goodbye.
Yes. Back tomorrow at 5 a.m. Until then, have a great day. So long.